Hi again. I was just outside today enjoying early summer here in Kentucky, listening to the birds, thinking how beautiful it is that something's still free in the world. Thank God the birds still fly and speak to us from a higher plane. Thank God we still have some connection with reality that isn't artificial. Heck, people are even trying to make us think reality isn't real anymore. A lot of kooky people have got a lot of warped ideas, and they're trying to make all of us believe them. It's as if we're in a concentration camp and we're all experiments and we know nothing about what they're doing. And maybe they'll just twist people as much as they can before they destroy them all, and keep a record of how everybody went nuts and all the terrible things they made us do as offerings to the dark, to the evil one. It's starting to seem that way when you can't get people to use common sense anywhere, and you hear all the people in charge talking and nothing they say is adding up, and there is no meaning in anything that they say or do. It's all rubbish. You start seeing that these people have turned into rubbish. They've tarnished their soul, and they're all starting to behave the same, say the same things. You know, my mom taught me to be original. She taught me to always be who I was and not care what other people think. Now I'm so grateful that I'm strong enough to be an individual, because I see so many people around me and in the news all saying the same words, claiming to like the same things, the same celebrities, putting people on a pedestal that they shouldn't, and all of them idolizing people they shouldn't. It's not just a mind control way to weaken the masses and make dumb slaves. It's also spiritually degrading. When you have higher intelligence and great intellect, you're not using. When you have a sixth sense, you're not using. When you have a heart, you're not using. You're letting all of these cheap fillers and lies prevent you from evolving and being true to yourself and close to the planet and close to God. You're living in a altered state, because they're telling you that their world is real when you're really not seeing the real world. You're so programmed, and everything is trashy in their universe. It's all man-made, and they're detaching you from real God that's here everywhere, that is your greatest strength, that offers the greatest enjoyment through natural fun and natural recreation and connecting with your strong identity and being great as people, being so connected to the planet and the divine. Their whole intention is to destroy you from everything beautiful and great that is God. God is all around you, but technology is replacing our thoughts and replacing our feelings and making people escape and look more into a fantasy world than reality. And the Bible warns about people getting too wrapped up in fantasy and saying that they're wicked. If people could just imagine what life was before all this was invented, they will see that the age of innocence was the best time. And the sad part is now they can microchip babies from the infirmary, and they can have complete control of them, like they've been doing to my mind and body with these weapons. So when you're having children, they're not really coming into this world to live as humans like you were. They're coming into the world to be programmed slaves for the darker people, perhaps for Satan. You have no control anymore. You just don't realize you lost it. They give you this warped idea that you have power. You have none. You have none when something isn't controlling your brain all the time, and you're living somebody else's ideas, and you're programmed like a mouse in a maze, and every day you're conditioned to say and do the same things and act like everyone else in your habitat. You are not in control. You're not in control until you can talk to God openly, look in the mirror, see your true self, develop your own ideas, practice your own faith, share your real heart, your genuine love, be true to yourself when you go out in the world each day, and not have any regrets or guilt or feel self-conscious, because God made you that way, to be strong and to believe in yourself, because each one of you is different. He didn't make any of us the same. Why do you think he'd want us all to go around talking the same and worshiping the dark one and living like each other, doing what your neighbors do? He wouldn't want you spying on your neighbor and then reporting to some higher commission if someone is not doing something that you think that they should be, like putting their garbage can where you think it should go, or grooming their yard a certain way. We've reached a point to where people have gotten so ridiculous they even spy on their neighbor for that, or call in on their neighbor if their dog barks. That's how sick things have gotten. Some people are so insecure they want a controlled environment, and the people doing this are so paranoid they want to feel in control so they don't have to fear other people. If you're afraid of other people, you don't destroy them and try to program them and turn them into puppet slaves. You just grow a little backbone. If people could just see when all this sickness began and how bad it's going to get and how man is truly going to fall before this is all over with, they would try to turn all this around, but they aren't. Because the people that are in power, that are serving the devil, are even teaching their own kids bad things. They're taking their own kids' virtue. They're teaching them to lie. They're teaching them to shoot guns. They're teaching them to be bad rather than good. And this is not the world I came from. And I fear that I'll never get back in that world again. The age of innocence, to where you could just run around barefooted in the summer with no shoes and go fishing or swim at the lake and not have cameras everywhere. To where you could just go off somewhere in the wilderness and be alone and not have things looking at you from space or under rocks. It's like the devil is not only trying to take our environment, he's trying to take our soul and all freedom to feel at peace and one with God. And things have just gotten started. Wait till later down the road when you realize your kids are controlled by the devil, and any new babies are automatically controlled by the ones that are destroying the planet. I think you might have a change of heart, unless your brain is too far gone. It seems like people's hearts are getting wicked and hardened to go along with their poisoned minds. It's all in the Bible, nature of the beast, and man is right now letting him conquer through surrendering their free will and craving wealth. Hello, this is Sherry again. I wanted to add something to a video I posted earlier. After I got off the computer, I started being bombarded on my cell phone by different universities. And what this group has done to me is they weakened my mind and made it so brittle over a few years that now I'm slipping gears. Now I think I'm putting words in sentences that aren't there, and forgetting things every week. A part of their plan to weaken the mind and gain possession of a person involves years of breaking them down through commands on the computer and through home torture and through mind invasion. And they will never let you recover. They kept me sleep deprived for years. They don't want me to recover. This is a slow process to just destroy your being. I think they really want to try to reach your soul eventually. So right now they have me so brittle, and they're trying to get me to perform and be excellent and do excellent and be a perfectionist. I did for years. For years, I was such a perfectionist. I did everything through my soul. Everything was just right. Everything. And it had to do with my writing and my stories. I was always a perfectionist. A bunch of very evil men took credit for my work. They were degenerates. They would not cut a lick. And after they did this, and I paid all this money for all these classes and all these plane trips to go study, they just laughed and said, we laughed all the way to the bank, and we're wealthy and we're the elite and we're atheists, and we fed off Christians for centuries, and we built our empire, and you're our little slave. And that's how they treated me after years of me proving myself and working with them and being innocent and trusting and giving and caring and sharing. They don't want you to be caring. They want to feel like they're ripping you to shreds and raping your soul and eating your heart out. And no matter how sweet you are, they will turn it around to make a total fool of you. They told me, after years of me struggling to just prove myself and to go to these conferences, and I was scared of flying, but I would still conquer my fear. I applied myself 100%. I gave them my life. I gave them every day. And at the end, they built a terrible empire. And I will always have to deal with the grief of thinking my ideas and gift from God was used to serve the devil. That's all I did. And here they are, trying to devour what's left of me. I feel like I'm scrap meat and they're the vultures, like feeding off the dead, because that's pretty much what they've turned me into. But they're saying today that they want me to take these courses and they want me to write more. It's just pressuring me. I wrote from the bottom of my heart with all my soul's passion, and it was from a higher power. And when I did, it was all love. It was my gift to the world. It consisted of my soul, my identity, who I was. And all they did was try to get into my heart and mind to figure out what made me tick. They always say, what's your secret? Do you have secrets? It took them years and they still don't know who I am. And the only reason they want to know who I am is to destroy your self-worth so they can turn you into a mindless programmed body that they use for their own enjoyment. Recreational pleasure. You know, they're trying to get me into sex with men and I won't do it. I'm married. I'm a Christian. And this is, if you look at society, look how they're degrading everyone. And it's because I think they serve the devil, and the best way they think they can do it is to degrade all of God's people, make them do stupid things so they can sit back and laugh at them like they did me, so they can make fun of them like they did me through all their friends, while I was trusting them and trying to help them and praying for people that weren't even real on the computer. You know, they create several different names and sometimes it's one person, and you get your heart into it and you really start to like these people, and you find out it's all a lie, and then they make fun of you later for revealing information that you normally wouldn't just reveal to just anybody because you let them in. After a while you realize there's a war taking place and it's a spiritual battle, and they just want to get into your soul. And that's why you see movies out called Let Me In, and you hear songs about letting the demons in. Loving demons. You don't let demons in. Only a fool would love demons. Demons are your enemy. Demons are the dark side trying to get in and make you an outcast and condemn you and destroy your soul. Demons are something trying to inhabit your brain to take full control, and that's exactly what they're doing with these weapons. So today, I was talking to someone online, and I was wanting to take some classes because I really do need to do that. And everything they were mentioning to me required equations and challenging things, and I said, wait a minute, I'm not strong enough for this. I'm really not. I just know I'm too brittle. I'm doing good to just get through life now and get where I'm going when I'm in my car, and not forget when I'm behind the wheel where my destination is. That's how bad I've gotten. I'm doing good to remember to feed my dogs and take care of my husband and do work and housework, and I'm doing good to just remember who I am, because they're destroying my identity and detaching me from myself through an abuse. That's the shape of the world. And the sad part is, this is the early stages. I'm one of the first test subjects. Can you imagine how horrible things will be once things are developed and these people think they can have a free-for-all to do anything they want, and no one human will stop them? And everyone around me that I've reached out to in different jobs to try to get help and explain what's going on has either defended these people or attacked me, because they're already in place to make sure nothing stops the devil's empire from being built. Nothing good can come out of this at all. I talk to my higher power, and my higher power tells me these things are blocking our communication. They're unnatural. These things have been put into place to destroy our free will and heavenly connection to God. God is divine within our being, it the greatest blessing, our life force. And this diabolical dark force that's spreading this negative energy everywhere, even in the cosmos, wants to destroy everything that's light and beautiful, that connects us to God. God wants us to have a free will. He wouldn't have given us a free will if he didn't want us to have our freedom to love God and to express our own individuality, have our own opinion. We are each an individual. We come in here in this universe, in this world, as our own universe, and our only thing we have is our connection to God. And when we die, we don't die with these people that are trying to invade my mind and play God. They are so envious of God that they're inventing all these other things and trying to get people to worship false gods. God says, don't have any graven images before me and don't bow down to others. And he was not playing. And you see the state of the world and how people are turning into the beast. Liars, killers, rapists, thieves. It's spreading, and everything is getting more chaotic, and people are growing insane, and people are being driven insane deliberately. This is all to weaken mankind, and changing man's structure through science. This is all to weaken mankind for the beast. Because God loved you so much that he made you so perfect, and the body so utterly amazing that it heals itself, and it can connect to so many different places. And they're destroying all that. And if you look at all the things they've created through changing our food and animals, they only weaken God's creation. They never strengthen it. They are so insane, and they're just so wicked. But today I'm struggling because they're trying every day to keep me from healing, whether through sleep deprivation or constant terror. They want my mind completely destroyed. They want in. They want to reach my soul. And they either want to make me hate myself and destroy myself with my own thinking, or they want to use me for something evil that I have no idea of and take away all my self-control. And they've already destroyed my dignity, self-respect, my own love and passion for the stories I create. They've made my heart so hard, and they've made my brain so impaired that it's hard to have feelings anymore, because it takes your mind and your thoughts and strength to have feelings and process things. They're just destroying everything. And I just want people to know this is what's in store for you, because you serve the devil, you buy the devil's food, you play with the devil's toys, and you're giving your heart to the devil because you're not putting God in your life first, and you're not realizing that God is your only strength, and the only outlet in the world today is God.